Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Technology Tuesday, hosted by Out of the Box Technology. We're so excited to bring you these free weekly webinars that showcase what we're doing here at Out of the Box Technology, as well as address some tips and tricks from in and out of QuickBooks, hot topics that the industry is encountering, and some third-party applications that we're excited to share with you. My name is Jennifer, and I'll be your moderator today. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to send those over to me directly, and we'll make sure to answer your questions as the presentation is going on. Some exciting news, if you haven't heard by now or haven't joined a Technology Tuesday in the last couple of weeks, we're so thrilled that Out of the Box Technology has joined forces with EBS Associates to become one of the largest solution providers for QuickBooks. Back in the middle of April, this merger became public news, and it's just been such a thrill to work with the team out in Portland and move forward as, like I said, one of the top companies out there for solution providers. A little bit about Out of the Box Technology, if you're not familiar. We're a QuickBooks training, integration, hosting, and support company. We have consultants all across the country who work every day in the QuickBooks tool in all versions, and so we're here to provide training and support on QuickBooks. We also have a whole team of bookkeepers who do bookkeeping services for small business, medium-sized business, as well as franchises. We also have a development team that works on custom apps, website design, and our mobile apps. Today, we are going to be talking about a solution that we started using about a month ago, kind of aligning with our merger with EBS, called Exclaimer Signature Manager. And I'm very pleased to welcome our Director of IT, Chad Lampton, to Technology Tuesday this week. He's going to kind of talk about what the Signature Manager can do, I think demo a little bit about the tool, and answer any questions that you have. So Chad, with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to you.
Thank you. Okay, so let me just move over here. Okay, so my name's Chad. I'm the Director of IT for Out of the Box Technology. Today we are talking about the Exclaimer Cloud Signature Manager service. The purpose of this was that we wanted to have unified signatures across the board for all of our employees. Plus, we felt it was a good way to get information out about our merger or any new technologies that we might be promoting. So it's a great tool to use if you get a new employee on board and you're setting up Outlook, that you can then push out a signature across the cloud. Exclaimer Cloud works with Office 365, on-premise Exchange, and Gmail, or Google for Business, or G Suite. This is Exclaimer's website, and they obviously are promoting these two things as well. You have the Exclaimer Cloud Signature for Office 365. Out of the box technology is Office 365 users, so we use the Exclaimer Cloud for Office 365. However, they do offer services for G Suite. Now, Exclaimer is in Europe, but they also have offices here in the United States. They've won awards for their product. They've have a great support team. I've had to reach out once for, I think one time I reached out to see how we could have multiple signatures, but only make one active. And then their support team was able to get back to me pretty quickly. And they also sent me instructions, worked with me, and got me a little bit of training. So excellent support team. We as well, with Out of the Box, we are getting more familiar with their products, so we can also do implementation setups and do a little bit of demo on the product as well. Exclaimer is kind of a easy to use program, so there's not a lot of, at least I felt when I logged in, I didn't feel like there was a lot of learning curve there. I could log in and kind of get a feel for what they are offering. They have plenty of signature templates to choose from. You can actually import your own if you're familiar with it. You can create your own type of template, import it in, and then add your logo and your signature names. And I'll kind of show that as well through the demo. Also with Exclaimer, a lot of the information that's being pulled into the signature is actually coming from Office 365. So if you're using Office 365 or G Suite, say for example, you want your phone number, your email address, your job title, all of this is getting pulled from Office 365. So for me as the IT manager for our company, I had to make sure that each of our employees had all those fields filled out in Office 365. So their main phone number, their extension, job title. You can also put in the company name, and that will come over. So the only really heavy lifting with Exclaimer is that from the Office 365 side, I had to make sure that each user had those fields filled out. And you can also customize those fields as you go as well. So if you want a direct line, you can go. I think I lost my head here.
You're back. We lost you for a second.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yep.
Sorry about that. I'm on a Bluetooth headset and I think it cut out on me. Let me 1 second. 1 second while I fix that.
No problem.
Technical error here. See if we can get it back running. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep, sounds great.
Okay.
But we lost your screen share.
All right, there we go.
Awesome.
Okay. I think I left off where I was saying that in Office 365 you had to have the fields filled out. And today I won't dive in too deeply because I don't have a test environment set up for Office 365 to really show that. But if you've got some familiar background with Office 365 under the admin portal, each user inside the admin portal, if you click on an individual user, they'll display, fill in the phone number, job title, the department they even work for. You can even go as far as and put the department, and it will all be pulled in from Office 365 over to Exclaimer. So as long as all those fields are filled out, Exclaimer will pull them in, and then when the signature is sent out, it will populate inside the field. So right now, I will use ours as an example. Just sign in here. Probably should have already been signed in. And of course, they got the multi-factor authentication, so we'll have to get through that there. Well, hopefully I've got it here, otherwise I can present it on my other screen. And then of course, Exclaimer is really good about this too. They'll always want to authenticate your account to keep it secure. So they'll send you an email for authentication, which I think is great. We've been dealing across the board, even with email, people's accounts getting compromised. So it's kind of nice to have the ability to have these authentication tokens come in when you need them. Okay, so this is kind of the Exclaimer dashboard. You can have multiple subscriptions to it. If you have multiple email platforms, you can either use Office 365, G Suite, or on-premise Exchange. Like I said, we're Office 365 users, so we have just a subscription for Office 365, and we can launch that. Now inside Exclaimer, when you get to the portal and you're able to start managing your signatures, you can actually have more than one signature. What's great about it is that you can actually put these signatures on a timer as well. So if, say, for example, you have a signature that you're trying to push out information, you can set it up on a timer for, like, the next amount of days, and that will be your active signature until the time is up. And then you can activate a new signature right next to it, and it will then launch that signature and become your new active signature. Inside the signature design, we have a template that we used from Exclaimer. So we're using an Exclaimer template. And inside here, I'm just going to kind of show you the template that we created for out of the box and what those fields look like. Now you can even create your own custom template. You don't have to use one that they have. I think at some point with ours, we used kind of they had like what looked like a business card template, and that's the one that we chose. But I think over time, as we started playing with the signature software a little more, that business card kind of became our own. It stopped looking more like a business card and more like a signature. So we kind of manipulated the signature to basically meet our needs to what we want. And right now we're currently promoting our merger with EBS Associates. So we have this currently set inside where we've created hyperlinks to out-of-the-box technology, an EBS Associates website. So when our signature comes over, you can actually click on the out-of-the-box hyperlink, and it will open up our website, giving you information about the merger that we have just gone through. So, and it works for the EBS website as well. So if you're looking to promote information out, like I said, that was kind of the purpose of why we're using Exclaimer, is that any information about new technologies or things that we're doing here with out of the box, we can embed hyperlinks inside our signature, which allows us to get this information inside our signature whenever a customer might email asking for help or needs more information about us. It's right there and available to you inside an email. Along with, we also have hyperlinks set up inside here for our website. So this one actually will take us to our main out-of-the-box website, along with EBS's website and our Recur 360 product that we have. This also is embedded with a hyperlink as well as our logo. So if anybody ever clicks on our logo, they can be redirected to our website as well. And as you can see inside here, we were able to add, for some, we've added departments, job title. I created a custom field for our business name. Now this also gets pulled in from Office 365. However, that field is kind of buried inside Exchange, so it was just easier to create a custom field inside here and then just put our company name with Recur 360 next to it inside here. That way it showed up, as you can see in our template on the right here. That way it shows up for everybody. I didn't have to go into Exchange and type in out-of-the-box technology with Recur 360 down the line. It's right there. And then you can see that we're pulling in our phone number and our direct telephone number right out of Office 365. So this information isn't something, as you can see, it's just code here sitting in Exclaimer. This information is being pulled right from our Office 365 account. So for example, if I wanted to maybe take a look at my account and see what my signature looks like, pulling in all my information from Office 365, it will do the same. So it'll show my job title, pull in my phone number, and everything's sitting right there. And it gives me an idea of what the signature is going to look like when we send out an email via Outlook. Now, discussing that even a little further with Outlook, what's cool about these signatures is that if you have a mobile phone, an iPad, Android devices, doesn't matter. Anything that you send an email out of that is connected to your account with Exclaimer, that signature will show up to the customer or to the client or whomever you're emailing to. So they will see your signature, and it doesn't matter what device you send from. Mobile, laptop, doesn't matter. They all come over and they can see who you are. Now, there's a little bit of a curve there, because at first, when we first implemented this, it was a little bit of it was nerve-wracking for some of our employees, because they don't see a signature when they're replying to an email or when they're creating a new piece of mail. So as they're setting this up and they're getting ready to send out email, you don't see a signature sitting there waiting for you. This signature only renders after it's sent. What Exclaimer is doing is that the signature lives inside their server. So as soon as you hit send, the email will filter through their server, and then it will apply the signature. And then once that signature is applied, it will then finish sending the email out from Exclaimer out to whomever you were sending it to. So it's also a mail filtering software in itself, where it's actually filtering the mail, applying the signature, and sending it out. So again, it's good that they have the multi-factor authentication. It's keeping your email safe as well. So they have good security in place, so you don't have to worry about, private information getting in the wrong hands or anything like that as you're sending out email with your signature. All of that is well secure and locked down. We've done our research about this company, and we felt confident using them. So nothing there that needs to be worried about as far as sensitive information being sent out via email. Also, with Exclaimer, like I was saying, this is our current active signature. And I think we plan on having this signature for, I want to say 120 days, and I think we've had it for about 50, 60 days. Maybe under 60 days we've had this as our active signature. I did not set up a timer for this particular signature. However, what I have done is I've kind of manually set that up. Now, like I said, you can actually set up the signature that it will be on a timer. You can set it for 90, 120 days, and it will automatically disable itself. And then you can choose another signature and then make this active. But what I've done is I'm going to do some manual work with this a little bit. What I did was I created two signatures, one without the EBS and out of the box merger, and one with. And basically I applied everybody to have permissions from Office 365 into both signatures and said they were allowed to have these, because the setup requires that each user from Office 365 have permissions to have the signature. And I can kind of show that real quick as I'm going all over the place with this, but let's, if you go under select senders, inside here, you can then start choosing which senders you want to have that signature. So I can go, and it's pulling it right in from Office 365. So when you very first sign up for Exclaimer, it's going to ask you if you're an admin for Office 365, and you need to sign in with that admin account so that it can give permissions for it to access your Office 365 account. Once you've given Exclaimer permission to access Office 365, all your contacts and all your employees, your distribution lists, all of that will come over. And then you're able to start adding users as you go. We kind of played with it a little bit. We thought maybe we could create a distribution list, add all of our users to the distribution list, and only have to have that one Office 365 group or distribution list applied to the signature so that everybody would get it. But the distribution list wasn't working that way. So you actually have to add each individual user. Hopefully, as time goes by with Exclaimer, there's a way that we can figure that out where we can set up a group rather than adding each user individually. But right now we found, and we have 50 users using this. Right now I have to add each user one by one to access the signature. If I need to add a new employee, I just add people groups. Again, you can do groups, but it wasn't working very well. It was inconsistent. With the groups, sometimes the signature would show up, sometimes it wouldn't. So having that individual person just inside the signature already, it was there, and it's been consistent. And I can say we had an Office 365 issue one day and the signatures weren't coming over, but it was on Office 365 side and not Exclaimer. So I think there's only been one time where the signatures were not showing up, and again, that was on Office 365. So I just go in here, I type a name, and it's going to do a search, and it'll find me. I can click on it and hit OK. Now I'm already in part of the group, but if I wasn't, then it'll do a search for my name, pulls it in from Office 365. I click OK, adds me to the group. As soon as I'm part of this group, it's instantaneous. My signature will start showing up immediately. If we make changes to that signature, however, say your job title's changed, and I have to go in and put in a job title, the signature will need to go through a sync first, and that happens every hour. So every hour the signatures are syncing in, checking for changes, checking for phone number changes, job titles, all of that. So within the hour after I've changed your job title, then that will show up. But the initial setup it's immediate. Signature will start working as soon as I put you inside the Exclaimer member group, and then you're able to start sending with that signature there. But again, any changes in Office 365 takes about an hour before they start showing up inside the signature. Once they're inside the group, there you have it. Now I did the same on this disabled signature for out of the box as well. So when 120 days are up, I will disable this signature, enable this signature, and that's pretty immediate. So within 120 days, now all of our users will now have this new signature using our, without the EBS breaking news, that'll go away. And then we have this new one. And the reason for that is, and the reason we're doing two signatures is that if we ever decide we want to make a change, promote any software, or we're looking to really just redesign the signature altogether, I have two here that I can play with, that if I need to make major changes to one, it's not affecting the entire company right away. We can play with it, make it look nice, make it the way we want it, and then deploy it. You know, because some might ask, well, why didn't you just simply just delete out the breaking news and deploy the signature? Well, we want the two there so that we can kind of go back and forth if any major changes happen come along that we want to, you know, not have to affect the live signature. We want to leave that one alone, play with a new one, and as soon as we like it, we'll make that one go live, turn the other one off, and do the same. So we just kind of go back and forth. We can rename this, we can do whatever we want. It's pretty open, and it's pretty easy to use. Like I said, and even if you wanted to create a new signature, you can create a new. And like I was saying earlier, you can start picking templates. It has a pretty good template designer. Like I said, we use the business card. I think the one that we're looking at right now is the one that we chose first, and we just liked it right away. We saw it and said, hey, first pick, first try, we'll just go with that one. So we use this signature designer, but like I said, over time, as we started messing with it, it kind of evolved and changed into what we liked. So even though you get the template, it doesn't have to stay looking like this. You know, you can use the template and just add your logos in and then have everything be pulled over from Office 365 and just kind of leave it alone. Or you can completely revamp, redesign, and do it any way you like. You know, they have the standard signature design for what most companies like to use. They even have the exclaimer at the bottom. Some companies like to have that, and there's plenty to choose from. So you get a lot of options as far as disclaimers, you know, direct decorative type signatures if you like that. Each one of these, like I said, you can embed a hyperlink however you want to do it. Some of these are really cool. I kind of like the Phoenix one here, but you can go any way you want. And then once you get the signature in there, you can start playing with it. You can start putting anything you want in here and just go to town. Customize it the way you want. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can actually drag the logo from its current spot over to somewhere else. Right now I'm on a virtual machine, so it's not rendering very fast for me. So when I drag the logo out, it just disappeared. But if I wanted to drag this one up, I could drag it up and move it to wherever I want. And as you're dragging things, it kind of shows you over here. It'll update itself and kind of showing you kind of the changes that you're making as you go along. So it's pretty cool. Everything's happening in real time. It's you can see the changes that you're making as you're pulling things over. I just really enjoy this software. I think it's one of the better ones that we've been using. It's quick, it's easy, it's smooth. There's not a lot of right or wrong to it because the signature software kind of keeps you within the rules of the signature. So you can play with this any way you want. And as far as I could always tell, it always looked good if it made sense, you know, however you want to design it. So yeah, so that's Exclaimer kind of in a nutshell. I wanted to kind of give a basic demo of what we're using it for. And like I said, over time, we're kind of hoping maybe more will want to get involved with Exclaimer, and then we can start implementing that for our customers if they want to start using it. We can do trainings, whatever, you know, just kind of take off with that as we go. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have much more I can show at this time.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. This really is a great tool. I know for me personally, working at different companies that didn't have a tool such as this, there was constant emails back and forth from upper management saying how to create your signature, how to make everyone's signature look the same, where this really just streamlines that so easily. So I appreciate you taking the time to show us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
We
a
have a
lot easier
couple.
than like creating a template in Word and then copying and pasting it into everybody's emails, certainly so.
Exactly. And the fact that it works for, on your phone, on your iPad, so that's just really easy and streamlined. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I have a couple questions in the queue, and then just a reminder, if anyone on the line listening has any questions, feel free to type those over. But the first question is, will the signature apply to reply emails as well, or just your original email?
That's a great question. So inside here, when you're first setting up the signature and you're going through it, you can set up rules where it's just the reply, or you can set it up to, so like inside here, you can go into signature rules, or you can just set it up to for replies and main signature. What we've done is we apply the signature for everything. So it doesn't matter if it's, a reply or a new message. Here you can see where it's got the two little check boxes here. We can do both new messages, forwards, and replies. So it doesn't matter what we're doing. We can forward an email, reply, new message, our signature is always there. And you can actually create a reply signature if you wanted. So you can have multiple signatures if that's what you wanted as well. So you can have one signature where it's just for new messages, and then create a whole different signature for just replies and forwards if you wanted to. For us, we're just keeping it simple, one signature for all.
Great, thank you for addressing that. The next question is, how many people can edit the template?
So right now we just have the one user, but you can actually go in here and set it up to share out to other users and give them like, manager rights or admin rights to the signature so that they can log in with their own account. Right now it's just myself and the owner of the company that's managing this. So we're just using the one user. But if we wanted like other team members to manage the signature as well, and I give them a little bit of training and background, we can actually invite them via email, and then they can start logging into this and managing it as well. And I believe you have to have, don't quote me on this, I have to research that a little harder, but I think you have to actually have an additional license for multiple users to log in and manage one signature.
Great, thank you. Does Exclaimer have a design team that can help create a custom template, or is it just what's in there is what's in there?
That's a great question. Now, I did see on their website they do have a team that will help you design one if you want, or import. Fortunately for us, with out of the box, and maybe this is even something we can explore in the future, we actually have a design team, part of our staff. So I was fortunate enough to have guys on our staff that I could turn to if I needed something, a logo, some template, some design, anything that I needed to make this work. I could just get on a chat with them and they would send me anything I needed. So we have a design team, and maybe even for our customers, maybe that would be opportunities for our design team to work with you guys to create templates and things that you guys might need for your signatures. But as of right now, I believe that Exclaimer does have a staff that will help you set up a custom template if you wanted to do so.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for touching on that, Chad. I was thinking the same thing. We have some really excellent designers here at Out of the Box, and if it's something that, we're already working with you on your website or on some collateral for something else, it would be great to have their hands on this as well and really make those consistent in the branding and the look and feel of it. So our next question is, will this work for a company with a peer-to-peer network using different versions of standalone Microsoft Outlook?
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, that this signature will work with any product. So even if now it says Outlook, so I don't know if like you're a Lotus Notes user for your email, but as far as Exchange and Microsoft, it doesn't matter if you're using different versions of Outlook or different devices, the signature will render through Office 365. So through the cloud, if you're Office 365, it doesn't matter if you're using the web portal, Outlook, built-in mail apps for your mobile devices, it just shows up because it's all being filtered through Exclaimer. Nothing's actually rendering from the local side of your computer. Everything's happening right inside their cloud. So as soon as you send mail, it filters through their cloud and out it goes. And then people start seeing your signature in the email. Again, I can't really speak for like different softwares because Lotus Notes is obviously not a Microsoft product, but if it's Office 365 and it's set up in the cloud, it will filter through their servers, and then there you go, signature shows up.
Excellent, thanks. The last question that we have at this point is there an image gallery that we can grab, like social icons or upload our logos or anything to kind of have a bank of images within Exclaimer?
Absolutely, yes. Again, we have a design team, so all our logos came straight from them, and I was able to upload them directly into our signature. There's an upload option while you're going through there, setting up the logo. So if you needed inside Signature Designer, if you needed a logo when you're adding an image, it will ask you, and another window will appear, and I'll kind of show you here. Hopefully this goes smoothly for me, because again, I'm on a virtual machine, so it's not running super fast. But inside here on the logo, another window will appear, and it'll give you the option to upload an image, or you can select a linked URL image. If you have a linked image for like social media, you can just put in the linked URL for the social media logo so that if they click on it, they can go directly to your social media page. Again, for us, we have a design team that created all our logos. I went ahead and added our logo, and then as soon as the logo was added, I created the hyperlink for out of the box, hit apply and save. So easy, simple. And then when I hit apply, logo shows up. Next time somebody goes to click on it, out of the box opens right up for me. So, you know, as long as you have, now I want to touch base on this really quick too. So a lot of websites today, if you're branding your logo for whatever it is you're branding for, it doesn't matter if you're branding your email for Office 365, whatever you're branding, usually a lot of companies, especially Office 365, have rules in place for your logo that you're only allowed to have a certain image size. I found with Exclaimer, it's pretty unlimited. You can use any image size you want, large, small. I mean, I've really played with this quite a bit, and I was able to take our logo here, which started out kind of smaller, and I just kept blowing it up until it looked good inside our signature. And I never got a warning that it was too big or anything about the borders. Nothing. I didn't get nothing yelled at me. It just seemed like the rules didn't really apply for anything. It's letting you just go crazy with it, and you can do pretty much anything you want with those logos and images. So if you have them and you're able to get them up inside Exclaimer, yeah, you can put as many as you like.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chad. So I don't have any other questions that are coming through. So if you have any closing remarks about Exclaimer, I think you've really explained it quite well and really hit on a lot of the high points and you know, shown us how it can really be a great solution for really any size company, to be honest.
Yeah, all I can say is with Exclaimer is that again, there's no real right or wrong with it. It's pretty user friendly. I'm not a web developer. I'm not a web designer, an image designer by no means. Programmer. I am infrastructure and administration for IT. So my background is more hardware, and I was able to get in here and figure this out pretty simply. So I was able to start adding logos, adding in company names, and figuring out that everything's getting pulled in from Office 365. Once I knew where everything was at, got familiar with the dashboard, I was able to go to town here without really any issues, and everything was pretty smooth. Like I said, the only work I had to do for this was just making sure that in Office 365, all of our employees' information was filled out. So their phone number was there, their job title, their department, just making sure all that's filled out. And for 50, 60 users, it takes a little bit of time. So we try to use like PowerShell scripts and things like that to speed up the process, but still not everything gets caught. So you have to go through there and audit that stuff. But outside of that, the signature software itself, super easy and super efficient on getting everything out to everybody. You know, I don't have to worry about getting in somebody's Outlook and creating their signature for them, or copying and paste the template that we created inside Word, or, you know, Photoshop, or whatever we were using for our signatures before. So it's great to use if you need to mass deploy a signature so everybody is unified and super seamless.
Great. Well, again, thank you so much for your time, Chad. I know you're a busy guy handling all the IT for us here at Out of the Box, so I appreciate your time on this Tuesday morning, afternoon. And yeah, again, this session is recorded, so if anyone needs to go back and revisit any areas that Chad talked about, everyone will get a link in about an hour or two that can take you back, and so you can watch this session back. If you wanted to explore this a little bit more, you can feel free to reach out to us here at the Box Technology. We can answer some more specific questions if you need help actually using this product and want us to walk alongside with you. I'm sure we can set that up. So go ahead and reach out to us. I wanted to just share my screen back again, talk about a couple of the Technology Tuesdays that we have coming up. Next week, we are taking a Tuesday off from Tech Tuesdays as we celebrate Memorial Day. But we'll be back on June 4th with our development team. They're going to go over some of the capabilities we have for developing a custom mobile app for different companies, different purposes. We've done one on our event app that is specifically for events, but we also just do mobile apps. Again, if you can dream it, they can build it. So come check us out on June 4th and see what these guys have going on. And then on June 11th, one of our co-founders, Lisa McCarthy, will be joining us to go over the consulting services. Again, that's really kind of the meat of our business here at Out of the Box Technology. So she's going to walk through what we do here in regards to consulting. And then later in June, we'll have our payroll rep from Intuit on the line with us talking about QuickBooks payroll, then a couple other of our partners as we get into the summer. So feel free to check us out, register for free on the blog. We'd love to have you. Again, if you have any further questions, go ahead and contact us. We'd be happy to answer them. If you have a tool like Exclaimer or another app or tool that you want us to feature, please send me an email and we would love to explore the option of featuring that on a Technology Tuesday. Again, Chad, thank you so much for your time today. Everyone who's joined us live, we appreciate you coming and checking out Technology Tuesday, and we hope to see you again in June. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your time.